We are live. We are live. We are live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Hello, 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 folks. Today is the 29th of March. It's Haiti Biz News Show. You know what it is. You guys are here every Sunday, 11 a.m. ish. Your man Seejeanty is here providing you, Haiti biz centric economic news on what is going on in Haiti and the Haitian community. For folks looking to stay in the know, right? And of course, we do it in English because, there's no other place really providing you news, unbiased, unpolitical, focus on real issues, except here. Not that I'm aware of. No one has yet shared me, anyone else, right? And so until someone does, I'll be here as that source. So as folks are coming in, I want to wish everybody good morning. Of course, the reason why we do it as a live is so folks can participate, provide their perspective as well, ask questions. It's about having a conversation. So folks who are on YouTube and Facebook land right now, go ahead, don't be shy. I read all comments on air. Same thing on Instagram. All comments are read on air, right? So certainly as folks are coming in, I want to wish everyone a very, very good morning, right? As always, we have to mention we did drop a brand new YouTube Seejeanty, where it was a wrap-up video where it was where we talked about some of my favorite businesses that I've had a chance to spotlight last year. We had Farmer Tricks, we had Maximus, and we had Haiti de Rossier. All these, if you notice something, you notice that these are manufacturers. These guys are producing. These guys are employing. And so, I have love for all types of businesses in Haiti, but the ones that are always going to have the highest places are the ones who really are taking an exceptional high amount of risk, right? Because to come to a country like Haiti and say, I'm going to make a large capital investment and I'm going to build a pharmaceutical, right, that's producing medicine to help Haitians and selling them domestically, some sales even abroad, that's massive, right? And massively important because, again, we know it's making things that change the country. When Maximus, for example, that creates wooden products from wood trussels, i.e. the things that go beneath the roofs, to an entire kitchen set, to coffins, to, you name it, these guys make it, right? And then, of course, Haiti de Rossier, these guys are creating backpacks from something really cool, from recycled bags, like little sachet water satchels that folks drank out of. These guys have an entire operation where they collect these things off the streets, wash them, clean them, form into basically the plastic materials that go in their backpacks. Not just backpacks. These guys make handbags. These guys make laptop bags. These guys make tote bags. You name it, they make it, and they do custom orders for companies. They are able to put their logos on it. So they're just doing some fantastic work. Each of these companies employ dozens of people, and certainly in a more functioning economy, they'd have even more growth. And these are the sort of companies that we really have to, when we're thinking about doing charity in Haiti, we got to really think about, okay, how can I, for example, don't bring the backpacks in. How do I contact Haiti de Rossier? Watch the video, their information is there, and purchase these products straight from them, right? Anything. I really wish the core way we thought about helping Haiti was, instead of just doing donation drives and just buying things from Walmart and shipping them to Haiti, I wish the first thing we thought about is, probably 90% of what's in our basket right now can be purchased from companies creating it in Haiti and providing jobs, which is the ultimate deficiency Haiti has, is jobs. It's a job problem, right? Anybody who has any familiarity with going to Haiti and doing charitable work, they'll tell you that, yeah, it's great, I'm helping feed these kids, but you know what? 90% of these kids have parents, and they're in these orphanages because their parents don't have jobs, right? We're doing this food drive, and we're helping these folks out. But they know that as soon as they fly out and go back to the suburban life wherever they came from, they know these guys will be hungry again because these guys don't have jobs, so they can buy their food products by themselves, right? And when we understand that the fundamental issue is jobs, then we should understand that the way we should do our charity is to help support job creators, i.e. buy the products in Haiti from Haitian producers that are providing jobs. That is the number one thing. I vehemently can't say enough, and I hope one day, Haiti will start to change, and it'll start to change once enough of us realize that is the only way Haiti moves forward. So, anyways, it was very important that I did a top 3 of my favorite Haitian businesses. And again, if you haven't seen that episode yet, the link is in the comments. And also just go to YouTube, Seejeanty. It's the first video right now. I most recently posted. So do check that out, right? Of course, as always, we have all our content is coming from YouTube, Seejeanty, right? And I'm going to post that. I'm going to have that underneath the banner in just a moment. I also want to add a little something for a lot of the guys who are reaching out to me and really appreciating the work that we have going on here and other things that we got going on. Add a little something to the banner, something I haven't done yet here on Facebook and on YouTube, and that is right. We have a little Cash App for folks who are like, man, I love what you're doing. How do I support? How do I plug in? How do I help with this mission? You know what? I've succumbed to those demands as someone who supports a lot of the content I do individually by myself through some of the ventures that I have going on in Haiti. That so far employs up to at least 12 Haitians. And we work, again, folks who ask me what I do, one of the main things I do outsourcing. And that also allows me to do a lot of the media content that I do. But, a lot of folks want to plug in, and folks want to feel like they're contributing, which they are. Right? And just watching is contributing. Sharing is contributing. But if you want to contribute another way, that's more direct, that can help grow this operation, I've included the Cash App right next to where you can find the information that you're getting today, which is HaitiBizNews.com. Again, HaitiBizNews.com. It's a site we created for free, no cost. You can go to the site and everything you have related to what's going on in Haiti right now from dozens of different websites get accumulated. Is that a word? Okay, we'll make it a word. Aggregated together one spot, and you can have information without having to hopscotch the whole entire internet to find information that's relevant to you. And of course, I always tell folks, if you're using Chrome, a lot of this information is in French. If you're using Chrome, you can download the Google Translate extension that will automatically translate these websites for you from from French to whatever language you have. If it's to Spanish, if it's to English, from French to English, and even Creole can be translated. So Google Translate app for a lot of the language issues you may run into when it comes to a French-speaking, legally French-speaking country. All right, and of course, as we talk about different things we talk about today, share the stream. That's how we get more folks in here. The quality of the conversation improves exponentially. The more folks are in here, the more folks who can correspond, add their perspectives, because it's not just about me, right? It's about everyone gaining an increased ROI, and when I say ROI, I mean return on information. Return on information, right? And of course, I want to make a special announcement. Which is the fact that this week I'm gonna be starting something people have been asking a lot for, and they've been asking for a podcast. Folks, Chris, my main way I listen to content online is podcasts. When are you going to get in that space? When are you going to start providing some information, man? When are you going to start allowing me to listen to Spotify, listen to you guys on Spotify, listen to you on what is that, Apple, iTunes, right? And Google Podcasts. And I'm telling you, the wait is over. Recorded the first episode just yesterday. I'm gonna have a co-host. I think if you guys have watched me for a while now, I did an interview a while back with a fellow by the name of Marc Antoine, fantastic guy. I think on my early Anu Palais, he's on there. Marc Antoine is a pastor here in Haiti, and also is on top of an NGO that does things the right way. An NGO called Tier Fund, and it does things the right way, meaning supports business, supports social enterprise, supports investors, business entrepreneurs by investing into these businesses, because they understand that there is going to be no change in Haiti without empowering Haitians to be able to catch their own fish rather than be given fish. And he's one of the big reasons why they think that. And so he's going to be a co-host of mine. I mentioned he's a pastor, right? So he's going to provide that social side of things while understanding my side of things, which is, how do we get businesses going? And the point of this podcast, it's called Ma Pimpo Haiti, the Haitian Diaspora Living in Haiti podcast, meaning what? Though a lot of folks, their number one dream is to do what? Come back to Haiti and live, come back to Haiti and be a part of the necessary change that's required to make Haiti, lose its its title, right, of what it is. I'm not going to repeat it. You guys heard it too much, right? To leave that particular spot where it is economically in the world and be where it needs to be, where it should be, right? And basically, it's going to be providing my perspective, his perspective. At each episode, we're going to try to bring a guest in. Each episode, we're going to try to bring a guest in, another Haitian diaspora individual who also made the move back to Haiti, and how they live their lives and how they move about and what they're contributing to the improvement of the Haitian society as a whole. And so I'm very excited about the podcast. Look out for it. We're going to release it later this week. We're going to try to release it, when things are normal, once a month to twice a month is when this podcast is going to be released. But honestly, since COVID's happening, since I'm stuck here in America, unable to produce new content because of COVID, I'm going to be focused really exclusively until times change on this podcast. And so get more information. Just make sure you follow me on Facebook and IG and all that. So when that drops, then you guys can be one of the first to listen to it and provide feedback and help us, make it an even better product that's going to add value to you guys who are living across the world and who are really to help Haiti be better, right? So lots of really good news there, and I really look forward to dropping that first information. And for those who are watching this live or after the fact, this is the first time I'm announcing it. I haven't even yet announced it on my other platforms. I probably will, probably the next day or two. So congrats for being one of the first to know. So thank you for watching and being in a position to know, right? So that's the top of the hour, bits of info. So some of the headlines that we're going to be talking about today. Let's talk about the headlines of which are going to be discussed today. Now, just like last episode, COVID is going to dominate our conversation today. COVID is going to be really it's important. It's too important not to talk about, obviously, and it's to the point where it's affecting all areas of society, socio, political, and especially economic, right? So we're going to be talking about COVID today, and we're going to be talking about some other developments happening. For example, we're going to update you guys on the kidnapping, right? That's something that a lot of folks have been asking even before this, and we're going to circle back and give a quick update on some things that are going on there. We're going to talk about how businesses are being affected specifically, right? How some banks are being affected. We're going to talk about how some local native airlines, particularly Sunrise Airways, made a very big announcement. We're going to be talking about that. Digicel as well. We're going to talk about how Digicel is reacting and how they're contributing to things. And finally, FAIZ. FAIZ is the socio-economic arm of Haiti, and we're going to talk about some of the things they're doing to help alleviate some of the hunger and other social issues that are affecting folks, even on the best of times, but especially right now with Haiti under this massive new pays lock, right, that it's in, right? So lots to talk about today. So let me take a look. Let me hop into the chats real quick before I get started. I see a lot of text coming at me. We got Randy Vincent here this morning. Good morning. Happy to see you. We got Disca Please TLC. First time I'm seeing you here in the chat. I hope to see you again, man. Good morning. We got Will Jean Pierre. Always a pleasure to see you, Will Jean. Happy to have you. Black 260Z. Second time I'm seeing you. I think it's the second time. I'm happy to see you back. And I hope to see you some more. Real happy. Sac passé. We got JH. Good morning. Happy to see you in here. Shana Mil, my regular. Good to see you. Good morning. We got Reginald Jean Bart. Hey, man, I'm trying. Somebody has to. All right. So we got best man Ulysses. Yeah, I'm doing good. Ulysses. First time I'm seeing you here, I think. So certainly happy to have you. All right. We got Edwin William. Good to see you. I think it's the second time seeing you in here in the chats. Happy to have you. We got Midzio Evo, the regular. I'll be there in June. And stay for good. Okay, all right. That's you got to elaborate on that. If we say stay for good, I mean you're literally moving back. That is, congrats. It's a interesting time to do it. It's so uncertain right now. But do reach out to me. My email Seejeanty@hypro.solutions, and love to hear what sort of projects, what sort of things you're going to be looking to do. Midzua. JH says, can't wait for the podcast. Great idea. Good stuff. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Daniel Dorard says, America is getting a stimulus package. Haiti do the same? Of course not. Now, I mean, Haiti has had programs that support, like the Timama Chérie programs under Matali. And even currently, Jovenel does have a version where he is supporting some of the poorest folks with direct financial stipends. So that has happened and is happening, but there hasn't been a larger announcement and a larger push for more folks to get those sort of assistance. But it has happened, but certainly Haiti just doesn't have the resources to do what America and Canada and Germany and Britain and the Netherlands and all these different places are doing, where they're effectively so providing massive income distribution. So that's not happening. So Jeffrey Moa said, Nula, well. We got Lamu Ojulis Obas. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Daniel Dodard. Salutations. And right, first time. Okay, best man is saying that was his first time. And we got Damia Samba. Hey man, good to see you in the chat. He's Damia Samba is a guy doing some. I believe it's Damia Samba. Your photo is a little different there from what I'm used to seeing. If that's you, but I think that's the fella, my brother, who's doing some great stuff in Congo. So we got folks all the way in the Congo watching us, and he's doing some great stuff. He's basically my equivalent out there in the Congo, highlighting business movers and shakers, and folks helping, also move Congo from where it's at to where it needs to be. So if that is you, Damani Samba, happy to have you in the chat. You guys really need to go follow some of the work he's doing. And looking in IG, let's take a look, see who we have in here. Let's see who we have in here. Let's see who we have. A lot of folks, a lot of cool folks who popping in. I'm not sure if they're still in here or not. We got 501 Motivation Music saying, I believe Haiti has a great opportunity to grow. We need to have an invite so we can turn the key opportunities in Haiti. Absolutely. Totally agree with you, man. Totally agree with you, 509 Motivation. Orphanages aren't what Haiti needs. We need to stop orphanages, open more vocational schools. And just share to 15 people. Thank you, man. Thank you. Certainly appreciate that for the shares and the folks who are coming in because of my good friend 509 Motivation Music. Don't go away just yet. We got some really good interesting stuff we're going to be talking about very soon here. So good to have you guys. Good to have you guys. And Dominique, somebody did say that is him. All right, cool, man. Cool. New profile photo. But again, yeah, definitely. If you want, Dominic, do drop your page, because your page that's focused on the Congo. Do drop that in and go like that page again. So, it's the plight of Black peoples, poor peoples, Black peoples. It's a shared fight to get improvement and success, and a push from any of us anywhere is a push for us everywhere, right? And so do go ahead and support my brother down in Samba. There's some folks doing some really cool stuff. Because again, as it wasn't for him. I mean, there's all you see of the Congo, honestly, is just the negative, right? And so it's really good to see some positive work being highlighted. So keep that up, keep that going, right? All right. So that's the chats. Again, keep the chats coming, guys. I will be reading them throughout the webcast. And I don't mind tangents at all, right? So let's talk about the very first talking point today, which is going to be COVID. So first off, we have 8 people who have tested positive, right? And let me say this very clearly: 8 people who have tested positive. Now that there's only 8 people, only those who've been tested and confirmed, with COVID, right? And there's about another 104 suspected cases of people who have been quarantined officially, formally recognized as being suspected and asked by the Haitian government, both at the local level and at the higher national level, to quarantine themselves. And that's the current statistics. When you compare those statistics, for example, to the DR has 28 dead people. No one has died yet in Haiti. God, hopefully that stays that way. Let's make sure we pray about that, right? No deaths yet, but 28 dead in Dominican Republic, 710 positive cases, all right, compared to 8, 710 positive cases. And of course, the counts of those suspected and quarantined are in the thousands of people to the tens of thousands of people in the Dominican Republic. So the DR is really getting it, and it's getting it hard and getting it very difficult. So certainly our hopes are with them. The lockdown from Haiti is still ongoing for those folks who don't know. Honestly, there's a lot of folks in Haiti who don't know. As I talk to some friends and some family in Haiti, and I message them, I say, hey, I'm stuck here in America. I can't come in. And they're like, what? What do you mean you can't come in? Why can't you come in? And like, no, Haiti has closed their ports. You can't not come in. And they're like, oh, really? So it's a surprise to a lot of Haitians, actually, that Haiti has officially closed its ports, which is a little concerning, right? That piece of information it hasn't really gone out to as many folks as I thought as would. And that's a concern, because I wonder, in general, just how effective the transmission of information has been in Haiti from the government to other officials to the Haitian public. Certainly a concern, but in any case, we have probably the most famous person right now in Haiti to have COVID is actually Rudy Rude Boy. Rudy Rude Boy, of course, if you don't know who Rudy Rude Boy is is a very famous rapper, pop star sort of guy who actually, funny enough, I met him back when I lived in Chicago before he was big. Like, he was just some guy, just your local sort of artist trying to make it. And I remember shaking his hand. I was like, yeah, good luck, buddy. Like, oh yeah, you do music. Okay, that's cool. Good luck, man. Shook his hand and everything, had a conversation with everything, and then lo and behold, a few years later, he's hosting carnivals and he is the number one. Seriously, I don't, of this current generation of artists domestically in Haiti doing some really fantastic stuff, some really catchy music. Certainly some of my most favorite music right now has been produced by Rudy Rude Boy. And no, but he was found. He was one of those 8 cases. He had COVID. He was at the Mirabale Hospital. I highlighted that episode in my Mirabale episode on YouTube. If you haven't seen that episode, to check it out. It is the number one hospital in Haiti, and in fact, it is a certified hospital by international standards, and one of the only ones, or one of 3 in the entire Caribbean to have this level of certification, right? And so, a lot of folks do like to repeat, oh, Haiti doesn't have any hospitals. That's not true. Haiti does have some solid hospitals, just not enough. It's poorly lacking for the 11 million people. The Mirabale Hospital only has a few hundred beds, which is not enough, right? So that's where the Haitian government has put official cases right now. And so, as you can see, I just said Mirabale Hospital only has a few hundred beds, right? So how quickly could the Haitian healthcare system be envahid, as they say in Creole, overwhelmed in English, if we started getting Dominican Republic numbers, right? Very quickly is the answer. is the answer for A, B, C, D, and E, right? So that's where Rudy Rude Boy has been staying. Last I checked on his information, it seems like he's recovering. In fact, he's supposed to have an update on Twitter, like a live session, either today or tomorrow, where he's going to answer some questions and about his experience. I'm certainly, if I can remember to watch, I will be watching, because it's interesting to get that perspective from someone who has it in Haiti in particular, and how that treatment has been going, right? American evacuations of Americans have been on the increase, steady. Although I think this week is officially the last week. I read an email from the embassy saying that the last one was supposed to be, I think, Saturday. I think, and so the American U.S. Embassy had contracted at first JetBlue to do some. So they'd come in an empty plane, and then Americans who were on the list were able to get on the plane and then leave Haiti, right? For prices that, well, I can't speak to how much JetBlue was, but so in addition to JetBlue, later in the second half of the week, they had Eastern charter, a very small charter plane, or a jet, but charter plane that were also coming empty and taking Americans out. But those prices were $1,200 to $1,300 per ticket. I'm gonna say it again, $1,300 per ticket. Per ticket is what these guys were being charged to get Americans out of Haiti, right? Which is wow. Again, this is, again, bear in mind, usually one way, right? Usually a one way, and only to Miami, by the way, nowhere else. And then from Miami, if you live somewhere else, say if you live in New York or wherever, you'd have to then buy another plane ticket to go wherever you're going, right? So that's $1,300. And bear in mind, usually the general price to fly out of Haiti is about $150, on Spirit and JetBlue, about 150-ish, $160, $180. So you can see it's a 1,000% increase in the price, which is, put it like this. So the Europeans in France also is doing the same program. And to fly someone from Port-au-Prince to France, to Paris, right? The French government subsidized it to where their French/European citizens are only paying $300, right? God bless America. God bless America, right? So it's a very difficult situation for those who may be in America, in Haiti, and having to fly out for whatever reason, and having to pay $1,300. Certainly, it's a discouraging figure that encourages folks to stay in the country for better and for worse. So so that's the news on that. Furthermore, Jovenel King Moise, first of his name, did go on, has been on television along with his Prime Minister Joseph Juth, and did different podcasts, right? And Jovenel said that very similar to what America's trying to do, which is galvanize the private industry to help produce garments, help produce. I know Pharmatrix, who I talked about at the top of the hour, they're going to be producing hand sanitizer, for the masses and for hospitals in particular, which is fantastic. I did post something on my Facebook page where we saw a small workshop that's been allowed to officially be open, because bear in mind, all factories have been requested to be closed, in addition to ports, right? And of course, any mass gathering over 10 people isn't allowed, including churches. Churches have also been not allowed to operate in Haiti. So a lot of the necessary measures that have worked and been helpful in other places are also going on in Haiti. But the exception has been made for workshops and factories producing things specifically to help fortify the Haitian population. Of course, obviously, they're asking that these places that are operating take special measures in terms of washing hands, in terms of distance, in terms of keeping face guards. Even in the video I shared, you do see that everyone in the workshop is wearing a face guard. So proper measures are being done, which is good. But so the Jovenel is asking for the private community to help in that regard, which I hate to interject opinion, but I find that a little odd, given that he's just spent a good amount of time going to war with a specific tranche of the business class, right? And as you know, he has fought and effectively won the war against some major electricity producers in the country, who are also people who own or are shareholders of the same manufacturers and workshops that he's now asking them to help him create things for the Haitian population as a whole, which is very interesting for what it's worth. Um, uh, and again, I'm not how effective ultimately that ask is when he really has antagonized already uh, a lot of the sectors in Haiti, especially the business sector, and how effective that is for him to ask them to galvanize for his government. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I'm not too optimistic to these companies feeling, at least because of him, the reason to open their businesses. Now, I can tell you there has been tremendous local organic uh, response from Haitians all across the spectrum, from just the regular guy on the street, to who have bought or used their own buckets and put hand sanitizer and soap and water, and actually ask for small contributions to help them keep it going, or like 5 good, which is like less than a penny, right, in American in dollar terms, to help them keep it maintained, which I don't have necessarily a big problem with, right? If that's the goal and that's not the profit, and you're not gonna make a profit on five good, to use soap, but those who have more means have been able to place a lot of these big gallons, lave mill, wash your hands in Creole, all across different parts of the country, and just organically, business owners are doing what they can, because not only is it the right thing to do, but they understand, hey, if I don't do it, I may be the economy as a whole may be more affected, but eventually I'll be affected as well, right? As this thing grows and becomes more of a problem. But as it stands right now, as I speak to folks in Haiti, they're saying they're able to, though folks are being a lot more precautious, folks are using less taps. A lot more folks are walking. Even those who use taps, you can see they have gloves on. They have makeshift masks on their faces. They are, even though the general behavior has changed, you still see folks trying to do their best to go on with their lives as well as possible. Right. So there's been also news when it comes to financial aid by the international community. Haiti is the only CARICOM country that the UN has allocated a part of the $2 billion fund response plan that they've put together to help some of the lower end countries help deal with this crisis. They're looking to donate, part of this $2 billion response, they're looking to donate essential laboratory equipment to help test the virus, medical supplies to treat people, looking to install hand washing stations in camps and other, very marginalized communities. They're looking to help establish centers for folks who they are affected, to be able to, basically camps to house, COVID people, and sort of basically quarantine sites. Of course, I should mention there's been resistance. One community in particular in Kafou this week have actually blocked roads and didn't want this quarantine center next to this hospital to be built. Obviously, there's still some educational issues involved. Some folks who don't really know or understand how COVID is transmitted yet, right? Because obviously it's transmitted mainly by touch and by being in very close proximity to someone. Just because it's down the block from you doesn't mean you're going to get it, right? So there's certainly some issues in terms of understanding how that works, and as driving some for lack of a better word, ignorant behavior, right? But so that fund has money for that. And our cost obviously also to launch public information campaigns to let folks know again, hey, this is how it works, this is how it's transmitted, and it's not going to necessarily affect you just because it's down the block from you, right? And also, additionally, IDB has earmarked $50 million specifically to help Haiti with this crisis. They're looking in particular to build six centers in particular to help with the housing and also the testing, and also help purchase protective equipment for hospital staff, right? In addition, they've already, part of this $50 million, Prime Minister Joseph Juth have announced that they're ordering 20,000 tests, in addition to thousands of beds, ventilators, and chlorine. There's the chloric pills, right? To also help with that. That's been some early evidence that it's been helpful with treating the virus, right? And some of the effects of the virus, right? Also, the World Bank and IMF have called a freeze on debt. Now that it hasn't been enacted just yet, but they've called for a freeze of debt on countries like Haiti for at least 3 months. At least until September. Until September, to allow these countries to be able to put more money and more financial resources towards the response as it relates to Haiti and this COVID crisis, right? So hopefully we do hope that the creditors agree to the freeze, because again, this is a emergency that again we're seeing countries across the world having to deal with it in innovative ways. And who would have thought, we have a Republican president signing, in effect, guaranteed income to American citizens. That's something I didn't think I would have saw in my lifetime, let me tell you. So certainly, we would hope these creditors understand we're in unprecedented times and we'll agree to a pause on debt payments, which Haiti has a pretty high amount of debt payments that it pays each year. Right. So that's the rundown, the initial rundown. I got some more COVID-ish stuff, but it's more specific to companies. So that's the general rundown of what's going on with COVID that I wanted to run through and discuss. So let me pause now and go into the comments and see what folks are saying. Let's go in the comments and see what folks are saying. All right. Let's go up and scroll up a little bit. Let's see what folks are saying. Okay, Edwin Williams. Okay, my bad, man. My bad. You got to talk more for me to see. But I do remember you, Edwin. JH says, all right, share the link for the Congo. And then Damani, I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong, man. I'm sorry. Damani Samba did share the link. So again, guys, you guys who see it, he posted on the screen here. Make sure to click that link. Go like that page. Some really cool stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff about Haiti too from his page as well, man. A lot of Haitians have done some really incredible things all across the globe, and I've learned quite a few things from Dami Samba about Haiti itself. So do go and follow and like his page. We got Nick Stolberg. Okay, JetBlue is charging $300. Okay, that's still double. That's still double what they usually charge, but it's certainly a lot more reasonable than the $1,300 Eastern is charging. That's damn near criminal, but I think charter planes in general are pretty expensive, so I think that might be about right for a charter plane. I'm not sure, I never took one, but I do know they can be pretty expensive. I know, for example, American Airlines also does charter planes out of Cap Haitien, and they charge about $1,000, so that may not be particularly usury, but still it is usury in a medical pandemic, certainly, right? So there's no, So we got Black 260 saying, okay, second time. Yep, that's right. Second time in there. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep track. Jeffrey Morales, I think Haiti is going through the calm before the storm. It's the nature of this virus. It spreads quietly and explodes. We will be in the same boat as DR, unfortunately. That's very ominous, very scary, but unfortunately, Jeffrey, is very true, right? I mean, listen, you know, I knew things were a little rocky, but I was like, you know what, I can't get that bad that quickly. So I was like, that's why I came over to the States, just to kind of see some family and the wife and everything. But then literally, in just every single day, as soon as I got here, things just got exponentially worse every single day. And of course, to the point where, we're hearing talks where Trump is saying he's looking to quarantine all of New York. What does that mean? Does that mean putting military people on the bridges and not allowing people to come in or out of New York? Is that what they're alluding to? Right here in South Florida, where Miami just yesterday did an announcement where they said, no one's really is allowed to leave their homes except for necessary essentials, for example, groceries and stuff like that. Right. And so, and again, Haiti obviously shutting its ports just like that. So that just happened, in a blink. Right. So Jeffrey's absolutely right. This is something that right now, 8 positive cases, no deaths, but it is something that can explode, so we really do hope folks continue to heed the call, wash your hands, limit travel to essential movement. Because Haiti is certainly, America can't afford it, right? America's on its knees as it stands. I can't tell you the amount of, absolute, is the word I'm looking for here, bad things that could come across Haiti if things, the same statistics were to come to Haiti, right? So let's keep hoping, guys. Let's keep praying that Haiti can, for once, get a little bit of luck and avoid the worst of this. I think we're well due. Haiti is well due a bit of luck, right? Okay. Somebody agrees, right? JH, much needed supplies. That's right. There are some supplies coming to Haiti. In fact, the one thing I didn't mention, some private actors. For example, Ronnie Celestin, who is a relatively well-off person in this, and also senator in Central Plateau, he personally has purchased 15,000 cases, test kits. 15,000 test kits from China, right? And 5,000 are earmarked for his department, the central department, but then the other 10,000 are for the rest of the country, right? And so a lot of private actors are doing some things to help with the situation, and we certainly hope that continues, and we certainly hope that's enough, right? We got James Lubin. Will some of these supplies be sourced from Haitian manufacturers where possible? I hope so. I know a lot of the garments, for example, are being done locally, like the face masks. I know, for example, the police. Some police officers have decided to just focus on that. So there's some police officers that actually are just creating garments for other police officers. And one estimate by the Prime Minister says they're producing garments at a rate of about 500 face masks per day. Whether that's true or not, but that is really good if that's the case. And also, I know, for example, as I mentioned, Pharmatrix has created a sanitizer. They just announced this last night that they got a donation of somewhere around 1,000 pounds of 95 proof alcohol, which is the undrinkable alcohol, but it's the one you use to produce alcohol. Sanitizer, right? And so they're certainly ramping up production and being very successful so far in getting inputs to be able to produce hand sanitizer. So certainly we do hope as much as possible we're looking to produce locally. But again, the idea of, hey, we need something in Haiti, let's look for Haitian producers first before we import. That is something that still, I can tell you, it's not in the mindset of the Haitian diaspora. It's not really in the mindset of the NGOs that are here to help. And it's most frustratingly and depressingly not in the mindset of the Haitian government itself, right? The Haitian government itself doesn't really ever look domestically first. It looks internationally for everything and anything. right? And that is, I don't expect that to change here. We hope that enough actors who own facilities in Haiti who could do decide to put themselves in a position to not only be able to ask for, hey, the money, the 100,000 about to buy from China, hey, give it to us. But also, even without this, they're in positions to produce and hopefully provide for at least enough to cover their costs to hospitals and peoples who are in need of these things. I know, for example, right now, the shelves of main grocery stores across Haiti, they're bare when it comes to a lot of the things that are needed right now. They're hard to find, and they're more expensive than they were, right? And so what that means from an economic perspective, you have to get angry, right? What you have to get is become a producer to take advantage of the demand that's driving the prices up in the first place, right? But great question, Jeffrey. Appreciate that, or great comment. Appreciate that. Or Sir James Lubin. Sorry, James Lubin. Thanks for that question there. Edwin Williams. It's all good. All right. William Pierre. Mostly of the PAP citizen come from the countryside. They should move now before it gets getting worse. More save for anyone. Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. So William Pierre saying basically it's safe from the countryside right now. It's more dangerous in the metro areas. In fact, I know some people who that's what they've done. I know some people who just fortunately have property out in the provinces, and they said, you know what, I'm doing Port-au-Prince. They have some estates out there, and they're growing food, and their estates are more than able to feed themselves and their family. And I know folks who just gave the deuces to Port-au-Prince while this is going on, and have left to spend a month or two in the provinces while all this hopefully calms down. So yes, folks are doing it, and it certainly is advisable, right? Best man, Lysias says, we Haitians very resilient, will pull through, and William Pierre says, I mean, those who don't have activities in PAP. Certainly agree. And let's go look through IG. What are folks in IG saying? Right? What are folks in IG saying? Let's go up. Let's go up. Let's go up. Let's go up some more. Okay, here we go. We got Pascal. We got Cool Dizrati saying, what's up, man? Good to see you. He says, in Haiti, you cannot be sure that no one has died. You're right. You can't. That's one thing that statistics are a little more fluid in Haiti, just because of the difficulty of reporting that exists in the country, right? Dexter, the Motivation One, says we are sure based on what we confirmed. I received a video from him saying that he is not sick. Okay, they're talking about Rude Boy. That's awesome. We just need more doctors and more hospitals. Absolutely. Good to see her initials J.O. Gardy Jacques, good to see you. Yes, I'm doing good. My brother said he didn't want to come back. I'm not sure what that means there. Gardy Jacques from Sinai. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Gardy. From Sinai. If you haven't seen that episode yet, when I went to Ish and went to that conference, really good episode. Do check that out. And no one has died. No worries. Okay, I appreciate the information. No problem. Glad that you're watching. All right, and that's IG, and that's IG. All right, so let's move on to the next news story. And that actually one of the comments I'm seeing down there from Lamu, or just Obas, actually, is a good segue into next conversation point, which is related to kidnapping, right? So first and foremost, it's still happening, right? It's unfortunate. It's still happening. It's not happening as much, which is interesting, right? A lot of, I hate to get into conspiracies. This is that, the little evidence that we found so far, right? We have found that there is a connection towards the politics and political actors in Haiti, who, when you follow the trail, where the source is. Meaning, for example, one of the major arrests that happened about last week, 2 weeks ago. There was a car that was cited in multiple kidnappings um, uh, in Haiti, and a car that matched the exact description, and even was plateless, just as a description of the car before, was found being driven by a PSTK senator, right? So, again, this is conjecture. I can't substantiate anything more than what the small bit of evidence that's been found thus far. As I talked about this in length before, everyone knows when those who are taken, where they are held. They're held in places like Cité de Dieu. They're held in areas of Matissan, but they're unable to get in these sort of areas. La Saline, for example, is another one, because of the amount of weaponry that these gangs have that outclass the police, who are woefully unable to go in. I mean, the police had recently purchased a bunch of at least 12 or plus military ATVs. Talk about, this is the stuff you see in Iraq. I mean, big old fortified ATVs, and these guys were able to. They tried to do an operation after they got it, like feeling a little more confident. And what happened was, four of these ATVs, their tires were shot out, right, and became totally disabled and unable to do anything, right? And these ATVs they had a little hatch where you could mount a machine gun on them and stuff, but these were totally incapacitated because the gangs had guns strong enough to shred the tires that these military grade ATVs had. And I haven't seen any more attempts by the police since that embarrassment where they had to tow out their military ATVs out of heavy gunfire. That's situation, in these areas. Now, of course, I'm not afraid to share this information for you, because me sharing this information to you about certain areas that are just excessive in violence in Haiti is similar to you having a discussion about how bad it is in Chicago, or how bad it is in certain parts of Baltimore, right? That doesn't throw away the entire baby, right? There's certain parts of any country that is incredibly violent, and that you would avoid, and you would never have any reason to go in the first place, right? Unless you're purposely looking for trouble, right? And the south side of Chicago, certain parts of the south side of Chicago, certain parts of the west side of Chicago are places that, unless you're up to no good, you have no reason ever to go to these areas. But unfortunately, in Haiti, these areas not only are a misery for the people who live there, but also they act as safe havens for people doing the worst acts against the general population, which is folks who have ramped up kidnapping. And of course, the connection between these actors and those currently in politics, and that PSTK senator, he's not a former senator, by the way, because as you know, there is no parliament, because there's only 8 senators who still have term limits. So it's not a former senator, though there is a suspicion that a lot of these actors are being funded by former senators and deputies. But this guy who was arrested recently with a car that's been connected to multiple kidnappings, he's a sitting senator. I mean, he is a senator who is currently legally immune and legally functioning, even though there is no decorum to be had, right? So that's the general update. That it's gotten less, but it's still happening. In particular, one kidnapping that was in the news rather significantly in Haiti was that of Dr. Jerry Bittard. Dr. Jerry Bittard, who runs Hospital Bertrand Meuse, was kidnapped, right? Now, fortunately, within about, I think, 24 to 48 hours, he was released without paying a bribe. He was released without paying a bribe. I say bribe, a ransom, right? ransom is the word. Was released without paying a ransom. Once they realized who he was, and a lot of, as you imagine, a lot of pressure was applied across society. In fact, the hospital itself closed down in protest, saying they weren't going to do anything until, because the hospital, by the way, was really ran by two doctors. They're both brothers, Jerry Batar, and I don't know, unfortunately, the name, the first name of the other brother doctor, and a lot of folks depend on their care, right? Especially right now in the situation of COVID. But fortunately, he was released unharmed. Because I can tell you, if he was harmed or something had happened to him, it would have been incredibly discouraging and incredibly damning for Haiti as a whole. But so he is released. Let's be clear. But that also begs the question: how was he released? Right? Because think about it. If these guys were truly independent actors, right? These kidnappers are truly independent actors. Whatever the society is pushing on them, they wouldn't care. They demand a ransom and let the guy go once the ransom was paid. But the fact that he was let go right away, did these guys suddenly get a conscience? Did they suddenly say, wow, as if they didn't know who he was to begin with? Oh wow, maybe we shouldn't kidnap doctors, or was it more likely that a phone call was made, another phone call was made, and then the guy was released from directions top to bottom, right? I don't know. I'm not here to make conjecture. I'm here to have discussions on facts. I have no facts to provide, but except for the fact that he's released, thank goodness, and hopefully, if he's not, again, I'm not sure how shell shocked he may be. I can put myself in this situation, and I certainly would be in a situation where I'm not sure I would want to work for a while. But hopefully he will be soon in a situation where he can get back to work, right? And so that's where we are. There still needs to be a targeted, multifaceted response, specifically in the communities where these people are being housed after being kidnapped. These areas need to be heavily policed, but more importantly, these places need to be provided for, right? Because one of the reasons why these kidnappers are being so successful in these areas, minus their guns, is that they pay, they are providing themselves social services to the people in these communities in addition to money. These people, every time they get a ransom, they pay off every single person in the community with $100, $200, right? And so it goes without saying, when these people in these communities are getting income from the trafficking of this activity, right, they're much less inclined to work with the authorities and much more inclined to help propagate it, right? And so the response of the government, who's really thinking about how to stop this, is to not only police but also provide for the people in that community education, healthcare, and opportunities for some support in terms of food and some income to help make their case that it is far better to be just and upright versus participating in something that is really not only affecting the social fabric of trust in the country, but is painting a very terrible perspective on Haiti as a whole. Even though Haiti as a whole is still an exponentially safe country, it's still painting a terrible picture of unease, and it certainly makes my job as someone who's telling you that Haiti's not as bad as you see. It makes it hard. It makes it hard, right? So that's the update from that perspective. Let's take a look in the chats. Let's see what folks are saying. Wapmini says my parents' flight was canceled. Let's see, parents' flight was canceled. Stuck in Haiti, but they're safer than New York. you're absolutely right. New York is, I think New York just yesterday, they suffered over 200 deaths. I'm gonna say it again. New York suffered. Oh, look, my IG is about to end. Ooh, my IG just ended. Let's share that. Let's reboot that up. Okay, we're back live. We're back live on IG. I'm not too sure. I think maybe they have an hour cap. Maybe I wasn't sure I was on. Yeah, I am approaching an hour. So yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So over 200 deaths in New York right now from COVID. So certainly problematic. That is for sure. Right. So for now, folks are safer in Haiti. We certainly hope it stays that way, right, as time goes on. Right. How did all these weapons get into Haiti, right? And who was supporting these people? See, that's $1 million question. Dadaj Mini on YouTube asked me, how these weapons get in. That's $1 million question, right? The moment you find out that, you understand the game. But to go in a little deeper on that, I was watching a video. There's a new YouTuber who I follow. It's a white guy who I think the name of the channel, I haven't watched in a while, but like White Guy with a Boat, something like that, right? And so this guy, he owns, I think he's from Louisiana, and he owns a boat, and the boat's converted to like basically a boat that can transfer cars. It's somewhat small. It's not a big boat, right? But one of his first episodes he shows was him going to Haiti. I think he has a delivery. I think he was commissioned to deliver some things. And so he boats from Louisiana to Saint Nicolas, but I think he pit stops in Port-au-Paix to sign off his paperwork, because this is about like 3-4 months ago, by the way. But he stops on Port-au-Paix to formally check in with customs, sign his paperwork, right? And then the video shows at the dead of night he then reaches Port Saint Nicolas, and then at which point he's able to put this bridge from his boat to the mainland, and then he shows that he's hanging out with Haitians. He has Haitians who are coming on the boat. Haitians, again, this is the middle of nowhere, right? And then the Haitians are coming on the boat, they're hanging out, having a good time, and then whatever the delivery, he doesn't talk about what his delivery was, but I'm assuming it's related to an NGO. He mentions that he's working with an NGO out there, and so overall, it seems to be a good time, and he's showing some very interesting stuff. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what is stopping this, a gang or someone with malicious intent from getting the same boat coming from America or Jamaica or Colombia or Venezuela or Mexico? What's stopping somebody from getting on a boat from anywhere in the Caribbean and then just hopscotching to Haiti, anywhere on this? And by the way, Haiti, if you don't know this, Haiti has the largest coastline in America, in the Caribbean. I'm not sure you know this, but it's even larger than the Cuba. I didn't believe it, but this is a stat. You can Google it. Haiti has the largest coastline. Okay, so anywhere along our coastline, and just saying, here's a gallon of guns and bullets, and making the transaction, just giving it to Haitians, who then just get it to places like La Saline or Matissan. Guess what? Not too difficult. Especially, I'm not aware of Haiti having a Coast Guard. I've never seen a Haitian Coast Guard. I've seen Coast Guard workers who are on land at customs, but I've never seen a boat with a Haitian flag on it policing our waters, right? I've never seen it. I hope somebody in the comments can tell me if they've seen it. I've never seen it. So there's very little stopping, boats from coming in and just dumping massive caches of guns. And to answer your question, Dadaj, that is how these guns are getting in the country. We have no Coast Guard, right? Also, we do it. Fabio Coupet, how are you doing, my dear? Good to see you. Happy to have you. Fabio Coupet, by the way, has a fantastic show in Haiti. BB Net Accolé. Excusez-moi, c'est Bouchil. So you guys haven't watched it. I think I'm sure she streams online her show, and she's usually streaming off her IG page as well. So do check out Fabiola Poupette. I've been on her show, by the way. so I'm biased to my favoritism, right? But she does say there is a Coast Guard. So I've mentioned this before. Haiti has all the tools and legal structure and organizations to be great. How invested and how much they have and how effective they are, I'm not sure. I can't speak to that, but I'm just saying I've been there 4 years, and I've never seen a Haitian Coast Guard, right? So that's to answer your question, Dada Ajmini. That's the answer your question. Dada follows up and says, why, after UN peacekeepers left, everything in Haiti went south, right? They were a big part of the security apparatus here in Haiti. It's understood that many Haitians value foreign input more than Haitian input. What does that mean? Someone who's from Haiti can tell you something, and then that same thing can be said by someone who's from outside of Haiti, and that gets more respect and is listened more to than the other way around, right? So that's one level of it. There's this unfortunate psychology in Haiti by Haitians that just value authority more from people who are not Haitian. So that's one thing we have to consider, right? But the other thing too is simply the resources of PNH is much less than the resources of the UN. And the third thing we have to understand and appreciate is that there is a political element where, as you know, for folks who don't understand the La Saline massacre, you guys really should Google it. There's one article in particular that came out relatively recently that really breaks down the timeline of what things, how things happen and what things happen. But the big thing to pull out this article was that there was no push to stop it because the folks who were engaged in it was going after gang members who were of the opposite side of those in charge, right? So those who were committing it were, again, this isn't that it necessarily came from the political party in charge right now, but because they were avid supporters of the political party in charge right now, there just seemed to be a lack of will to rein in what everyone knew was happening in the La Saline area over a course of 3 to 4 days, right? And I'm not going to go into the details. It's very gruesome and it's very political. Again, the show's not about that, but it's not a good story. And you're free to Google it to get more details on it. But the point is that the PNH did not act. It's understood that the PNH didn't act because, they're going against who? There was a gang that was blocking roads and very much against the current, folks who are in power, right? I don't necessarily say their name as associated to the story, and then when they're going to do what? They're going against who? Okay, I'm a little busy. We can't send people out right now. We're a little busy. That's the kind of what the wink and nod and what's understood. And this is from the story. This is the published story. It's not just me. This is facts. Remember, I only talk about facts. What has been reported by people who have really put in the time to do the fact-finding mission and work and gather the true story. And that is the true story, right? And so to answer your question, why violence has gone up, there is a political aspect to who they decide to bring into justice and who they do not, right? And so that's as much as I'm gonna get into it. So I just gave you a bunch of reasons, but I think Dada's final comment, I'm just leave it on screen for a while. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to get in trouble. but those who are watching me on YouTube and Facebook right now, you guys see it. And that's what it is. Let me put that away. All right, let's move on. Watt Mini says, does Haiti have undercover detectives? Not that I'm aware of. That they do have a bureau called what is that called? DCPG, which kind of acts as a larger investigation body. But no, they don't. I'm not aware that they have undercover agents. Not that I'm aware of. No. Lamu Ogis Oba says we in diaspora need our own security force in Haiti, our own medical facilities if we're going to continue going in Haiti. And I would intend to continue going. Let's see. We need to invest in putting chips on the citizens of Haiti because of Digicel and government doesn't want to do their jobs, and then we'll end up set up our own private militaries. Okay, I can't really add much to that, but that's an interesting way to think about it. I'm not sure how much in the diaspora have those sort of resources. How much diaspora have that capacity to work together? To be quite frank with you. But there was ideas. Dajamini follows up, says, why isn't the Haitian president seeking assistance from any other nation like the U.S. and others who have a say in their election? I believe they are. I believe they are. The fact that he's even in power right now means he has their support. Because remember, the pays was locked for months. Don't forget that every sector of the society wanted King Moise, first of his name, out, and the fact that he is still here, it's understood. There's only one reason why he's still here, and that's because he had the support of the United States, and that's just fact, right? Why does other support the United States? He voted against Venezuela, which is very important for the Trump administration, and also he kept his alignment away from China. And it's very important for the U.S. that we do not go towards China, right? So those two things have really endowed him with the Trump administration and why he's still in power. That's just what is, right? William Pierre goes, do give us the right information, because we talk about 2,000, then we have containers for not following. So kidnapping will not stop me from going to egg businesses in Haiti. Thank you for your videos, bro, where I get the motivation from. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We gotta keep at it. The only way we can change the country is by keeping at it and focusing on the business aspect, right, of things. JH says DEA, right? Yes. And then finally, Edwin Williams says, BB show is good. So we have somebody who knows about BB. So good stuff, right? So let's see what more folks are saying in Facebook. I think the stream had ended on Facebook, and so I maybe missed some comments. So for folks who are coming back in, if you guys had typed something, please retype it, so I can address it. And we got Latouche says, hey, does Fabiola show stream on IG or on Facebook? I think she does. I remember when I was on there, I believe she was streaming. But if not, I'm sure her radio show is on TuneIn Radio, and so you can stream it on TuneIn Radio. And Fabiola, if you're still in here, please drop the radio program station. I think it's Radio 1, right? Radio 1 Haiti. So do drop your information so folks can try to follow the radio program on TuneIn Radio. Okay. So Gene, before I go back, Juin says, no, I think you missed the beginning, where I basically said that I got stuck on the other side of the border, and I'm stuck here stateside until Haiti reopens its borders. Right, that's the only thing that stopped me. 2 days before I was supposed to fly back in, Haiti's borders got closed. Right, great question. So moving on, and we'll finish up with these final news stories. So relates to some of the business activities in the country. Banks have almost universally restricted their hours. We have banks who are operating from only 9 a.m. to noon during the week, and a lot of these banks have also decided to close on Saturdays. Almost all the banks. The only bank I'm aware of that's still functioning with regular business hours is a BWASH, a Bank Union de Haiti. It's the only bank that is the only link that is let's see. So we have somebody from YouTube. Okay, some YouTube isn't seeing the link. Let me actually drop it. There you go. So just type in Congo Cognazias. I can't quite say it. I put it on screen there. Gino's asking, didn't see the Congo page. I want to pause on that really quick. Just leave it on there for a moment for folks to be able to find. And so the banks are closing sooner and earlier out of precautions, which is understandable. Though I question that a little bit because it's so restrictive from only 9 to noon. Because what happens is when you have such smaller hours, what happens is folks who would have came later in the day, they all come around the same time. And how are you doing social distancing if you're forcing people to basically bunch up during the day, right? If they're asking folks to bunch up during the day to do their activities, I don't. It's a bit counterintuitive, though I get the spirit of the idea. I'm just not too sure if it's really the best move, or at the very least, they should just maybe close a little sooner, maybe an hour or two more to give them time to clean the facility without necessarily ramping up their costs. But to restrict it to such a small window, I'm not too sure if that really is the best move and is actually going to help, if not hurt, the situation, right? Sunrise Airways has announced that they've suspended all international flights. All international flights have been suspended. If you might remember, I've announced, like, at least certainly last episode, or at least episode before, that they were going to start flying from OCAP to San Domingo, which would have been really fantastic. But given what's going on right now, I don't necessarily think that's the best move. And they thought the same thing. And so they've canceled all international flights. And that's to Cuba. They were flying to other parts of the Caribbean. All international flights are closed, and they're only doing domestic flights that they have. I know they have usually a daily flight from Port-au-Prince to OCAP. I think that's continuing. But that's really the extent of their flights right now, right? Digicel has come out and said that they promised not to increase rates during the crisis. They've announced that they've will continue to honor the current rates for as long as necessary while this crisis is ongoing, which is important. Because recently they did raise their rates, in particular because of the decrease of the good. They raised their rates across the board on a bunch of different plans, including in Moncash. The Moncash fees went up as well very recently. So there is a fear that especially the good has been in a decrease during this time, that the funds rates were going to go up, but they've announced it would not. Additionally, they've been sending out countless text messages to those in Haiti with information about this crisis, about washing their hands, about misconceptions, about how it spreads. And it has been a very important point of reference for people to better understand what's going on, because a lot of people, again, may not have access to the radio, because the radio needs what? Electricity. And a lot of folks don't have electricity in their homes in Haiti. And so the phone, almost everyone has a little phone, maybe a smartphone, maybe a dumb phone, but they have these phones and they do receive text messages. And so it has been incredibly important, incredibly helpful for folks to be informed, right? So Digicel has been a part of that, and it's very happy. I'm very happy that they've continued and will continue to do that. Finally, Fayaz, the arm of social assistance in Haiti, has announced that they are working very aggressively to help combat some of the issues of hunger that are happening in Haiti. And even when times are good, they're pretty active. But right now, they've continued to distribute food and meat to communities across Haiti. In particular, the most recently, 7 communities in the Kenskoff area received 20 bags of rice, 10 bags of beans, 13 cases of oil, 10 cases of fish. And they are announced every week they're looking to go into a different community across the metro area in particular to help sustain and provide assistance the Haitians who are living there in very difficult times, right? So that's the end of our news segment today, right? Let's go ahead and take a look in the comments to see what folks are saying, right? We got Dad Dasmini with a comment saying, do you think they're making it their mission to keep the diaspora out of the Haiti due to all the violence and instability, because the diaspora is the key to fixing and keeping the country going? Certainly none of this stuff is helping. Certainly, I think, and this is true for any country and anywhere, power wants more power, and power is very aggressive against things that infringes upon its growth and maintenance, right? And so it is certainly logical for those in power to try to do things to keep the diaspora out, because we in the diaspora are power. Our interests is to help the people there, but doing so directly goes against the structure that is benefiting those who are currently there, right? So one could make that argument. I'm not going to say yes to that because I have no facts. I have no written statement that says, yeah, this is we really don't want the diaspora in. If anything, what they say in public, when you look at Jovenel Moïse and a lot of people who are running campaigns to be president in 2022, they say the right things, right? They all say, we need the diaspora. We need to give them a seat at the table. We need to allow things. We need to allow them to be able to, incorporate their skills, their money, their capacity more into the Haitian economy. We need, the key of Haiti's growth is the diaspora. They all say that, right? Don't take my word for it. Even Jovenel Moïse in this campaign, everyone says it around campaign time. But then when Parliament, or when the House, when the Senate, when Congress convenes, right, one of the first things you would think they do would be to pass laws to allow the Haitian diaspora to better integrate and much easier to facilitate their activities in the country. You would think that would be one of the first things they do, since they've been campaigning and saying it, but they don't, right? You don't see any legislation to help with that, right? So that tells you everything you need to know right there. So it tells you that they know the fact that it's the Haitian diaspora who's keeping the economy afloat, period, right? Through remittances. Remember, we sent over $3 billion of remittances. Over 30 to 40% of Haiti's GDP was sent in remittances alone. So they know this. They know these stats. But when it comes time to actually do things to make it legally more easier and facilitate more direct activity, but also restrict their power, crickets, right? So we'll see. 2022 is a new year, is a new session. Hopefully, it doesn't get too chaotic. It's around election time, and that's when you see the worst of Haiti, honestly, between all the political actors trying to fight for their piece of the pie. But we hope at the very end of what's going to be a very bad time in Haiti, that we finally maybe, please, see some change legislatively, and potentially some impact done from that perspective, right? And it's not just us who should be just hoping and praying things get better, but it's important to start thinking about ways to help in that regard, right? And I'm certainly have some thoughts and ideas, and I'll share down the road from that perspective, but certainly have to do it very carefully, right? Because anything in politics in Haiti, you got to be careful, and that's one reason I don't really talk politics or discuss politics on my show. It's pretty hairy, right? This is a business-centric show, but certainly you can't ignore it, because all roads to Haiti's problems, they all come from that, right? So let's see. Liz says, good afternoon. Chase closed 1,000 branches here in the States. Keep a small stash of money at home. Don't know how this is going to go. Yeah, that's important information to share. Thank you, Liz. Jacques Georges says the government must do a better job checking people crossing the border. I agree with you. even though the border is technically closed, there's still people who are tracking back and forth, even though it's closed in the official footpath where cars and traffic go through. All you have to do is go like 100 feet, and then you just cross the river, and you're in the DR, right? And there's a lot of the border of the Dominican Republic and Haiti that there is no border. You just literally walk across the whole central department. There isn't really a border. You just walk across, and you're in DR, right? And that can happen vice versa too, right? Imagine a Haitian who may have gotten in contact with somebody COVID and decided to walk across, and now they're infecting folks in Haiti, and they don't even know it because, again, it takes 2 weeks to even know you have it, right? So, but I agree with you, Jacques George. That is something that needs to be a priority, without a doubt. Gina's channel says, facts. It's clear that they want the diaspora less involved. The incentives certainly would tell them not to keep things the way they are for those who are winning despite Haiti's misery. Lamu Obas says they don't got a choice. They got the willpower, and so do we. Absolutely. Best Man Useless says diaspora suffering because of the stability in the country. No PayPal authorization law. It's just nothing, right? See, I'm glad Gina said that, right? That's another big thing, preventing not just the diaspora, but domestic Haitians from functioning, right? Not being able to have a way to accept payments internationally at a cheap rate. I mean, there's ways. There's companies that exist. TransferWise is one. Payoneer is another. I believe they left Haiti, last I remember, right? But there are some companies that do engage in the same realm as PayPal, but they're exponentially more expensive, exponentially less convenient, and it's just not really feasible for most people to use them, right? And so, so one of the first things I would do if I was serious about not even the diaspora, but just getting into the year 2020 would be reach out to PayPal. Hey, PayPal, why aren't you here? What do you need from us? Okay, is that it? Okay, be right back. Draft a bill, pass the laws, put the necessary investment in the regulatory bodies to make sure what the bill says needs to be done is done. Call PayPal back and say, hey, PayPal, come on in. we did what you needed. Come back in, or come in, period, right? So you're absolutely right, Gina. That's one of the first things that really should be done to help us allow Haitian business to enter in the 21st century is allowing PayPal to be able to function. And it's functioning in the Dominican Republic. Why is it not functioning here in Haiti, right? So nothing more on IG, right? So that's a good place where we're going to end it. I want to thank folks who were able to sit through the entire cast. We're at 1.5 hours, which is actually pretty early for us. Usually I'm used to really doing 2 hours on this thing. But nonetheless, I appreciate all the comments we've had today and all the questions we've had today. We've really been able to inform you guys on what's happening from a COVID perspective, how businesses are reacting. And as usual, the tangents are sometimes as important as the news itself. So I appreciate, each person who watched today is a co-host. So thanks. We had a great show. My many co-hosts who were here today participating. Remember, for YouTube Seejeanty, we have a very cool on location episode where we do a 2019 wrap up of my favorite businesses. And I talked about Pharmatrix, I talked about Maximus, and I talked about Haiti de Rossier. Each of these guys are doing fantastic work. Pharmatrix, a pharmaceutical company, keeping very well educated pharmacists in the country. Almost 90 to 95% of their staff are Haitian, men and women. We have Maximus, same thing, employing dozens of people in the wood industry, from wooden houses to coffins to kitchen appliances. If it's wood, they can make it. I mean, I even saw they had posted something about school. They can make school desks and school supplies. So again, if you need wood, you need to call Maximus. They got you. And then finally, Haiti de Rossier, book backpack makers. They take recycled plastics and from the street, wash them, clean them, and then makes these really nice functional bags. I still have one of their bags here in Haiti, and I use it. It's very roomy, very rugged, great stuff. And again, if you're looking to, bring for your school drives, please do not purchase backpacks. Look to reach out to these guys and purchase their backpacks directly from them, right? And of course, for those who appreciate the conversation we had today, I hope you shared the stream. I hope you shared it on your Facebook. I hope you shared it within some of the Facebook, Haiti groups, right, that exist. Share it directly with some people who want to stay informed about what's going on in Haiti, but maybe don't speak Creole. Maybe they don't speak French. That's what most of these networks are providing it in. They're not providing English. So, if you think what we're doing here is value added, then please share it. It's about the return, ROI, return on information, right? And the more informed we are when it comes to Haiti, and that we're not going by what CNN's telling us, right? We're not going by what Fox News is telling us about Haiti, but we're informed independently of those sources. So we can have a legitimately full picture. The more we know what's really going on, the more we can react and act and help the country, right? Generally, right? Because that one-sided narrative isn't helping the country. It hasn't helped the country. Isn't helping the country, right? And of course, as I mentioned, there's going to be a new podcast coming out very soon. The Haitian Diaspora Living in Haiti podcast. My Pimpo Haiti is the name of the podcast with my co-host Marc Antoine. So make sure to be on the lookout on that. It's going to be on all your podcast streams, and I may even also try to drop it as something on YouTube as well. But it's going to be on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, all right, for you guys to listen to, as you move about and do your things. And we're going to, be dropping until I can get back in the country and start filming again. We're probably going to be dropping these at least once a week, probably. So do look out for that. I'm very excited about that, for sure, right? And I think one last question I do see here in IG by Cardi Biash saying gas is incredibly low right now. Is it possible that Haiti can buy it on credit? Certainly, I think it's going to alleviate some of the pain points, because the government is spending hundreds of millions of dollars per month, per quarter to help subsidize the low costs. So certainly it's going to take tremendous pressure off them, especially at a time right now where their money needs to be going to helping fortify the response for COVID. So it's very good that this is happening. But unfortunately, the rate which the government has pinned the price point, I think the last time they raised prices was somewhere in the early 2000s, right? As you can tell me what gas was in the early 2000s, right? And so there's still going to be a loss. And because they've been in a loss for so long, it's not really about buying in bulk. And even when you buy in bulk at a loss, it's still a loss, right? So that's the best way I can answer that from that perspective. It's something, to be honest, the economist in me really wants them to stop subsidizing gas, but the socio-economic in me, who sees how things are in Haiti and how everything is run by gas, because everyone has generators in their homes. Anyone who can't, right, has generators in their homes. And everything is still connected by gas, because taps have to pay gas. Food is delivered in trucks that have to buy gas. So when you raise gas prices, every single sector of the economy, from those at the very highest to the very lowest, gets affected, right? And so so that's that. But certainly that's overall, though, it's a good thing. The fact that the price is going down, that does mean there's less of a monthly, quarterly deficit. So great question, Kaib, right? Thank you, sir. All right. So that's it, guys. That's where we're gonna end it. Have a great one. Remember, we're here every Saturday, 11 a.m. ish. Okay. And so we're back at it again, guys. We'll be back at it again. Peace.